Hey, this is Danielle. Welcome to the free video. Today I'm going to be talking about Dollar General. And overall, I just want to say, I'm pretty aware of how the market has traded higher for multiple weeks in a row. At this point, we've been saying, yes, the market's extended. We know that it's overbought. It's definitely due for a pullback. But the problem with that is you can't just keep trying to short it when you don't have a signal. And as of right now, the market's telling us that it's still going higher. I mean, it pretty much went out on the highs of the day. I would expect it to pull back a little bit tomorrow because of Google earnings and whatnot. But overall, the structure is intact and it's very strong. So, what do we do? Well, when the market's really strong, you can't just keep trying to short it because you're just going to lose money, and it's an exercise in futility. So what do? Well, you go to the strongest sector, trade your strongest stocks on a short-term basis to the upside until you get that trigger that it's telling you that it's time to switch. Okay, it's time to make the shift. We need to adjust our thinking. This isn't working. Okay, great. So in this type of market, trading to the upside is still a little bit risky. Just do the extended piece of that. But how do we do it? Well, we have to identify the strongest of the bunch. So XLY, through my strategy, I've determined is the strongest sector really. Within that, what stocks are the best? Well, for me right now, I like Dollar General. I also like a couple of the others. I like TJ Maxx. I've been talking a lot about Home Depot, about Nike, about McDonald's, but the thing about these is that they don't have a squeeze right now. So while they are my favorites, um, there's just not a setup right now, and they need to come down a little bit for me to want to trade them. So looking at the Phoenix Finder, this is a new tool that I've come up with to help me compare stocks and sectors. I like Dollar General. So Dollar General was one of the first that triggered within this sector to the upside after the downfall that we saw in December. What does that make it? It makes it a phoenix. It was one of the first to rise from the ashes. So, what do we do with that information that we get from, our tool? Well, we go back to our chart and say, all right, well, what can we do with this here? And keep in mind, I mean, I'm not advocating buy stock at really almost the highs. I'm looking at this saying, hey, we have a lower time frame set up on the 195 and 78-minute charts. And this is an options trade that we could make for the break to new all-time highs as a momentum play. So we have earnings on the 14th of March, pretty close, coming up soon. Overall, I like the target that comes in around 123.99, so about $124. Trading at 116 up to 124, pretty good risk reward. You would have to have your stop below 110, so not bad. And then you have a ready aim fire buy, you've got volume pouring in, and you have your squeezes. So that's my pick from the Phoenix Finder today. Like I said, you know, I much prefer buying pullbacks, but you can't trade something the market won't give you. And when you're looking at different stocks and looking at different sectors, and you see that this thing has been basically hugging the 8 EMA since December 31st. I mean, sure, we could wait for a pullback to 110 and hope, it happens, or we could just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to trade this. I'm going to add, a third of a position here at this price point at 116. If it pulls back, I'll add more, pulls back, I'll add more. But overall, the goal is to trade this to new all-time highs. Because why? Because it's a phoenix. So, if you want to learn more about the Phoenix stocks and the overall Phoenix strategy, how I identify them, want to learn how to do it for yourself, come join me in the webinar that I'm doing on Wednesday, February 6th. You go to www.simplertrading.com/cherrypick and sign up there, and you can join me in the free webinar. So, at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of different methods for picking stocks. Right now, The best way that I see to do it is through the Phoenix binder. Why? Because simply, I mean, we're not in 2017 any longer. I grew up like most of you, most likely anyone who's been trading less than 10 years. Um, I grew up like you, where I grew up in a trending market environment, and for the most part, you could just close your eyes and buy long calls, and you didn't have to be all that particular. But what has happened over the course of the past year, you need to be particular and you need to be strict and you need to pick the best in breed. So that's why I've come up with a adjusted process to identify the phoenixes. So if you want to learn about that, come join me on Wednesday. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great Monday.